beautiful life.
Good afternoon and welcome to A Beautiful Life on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. My name is อาจารย์เกษมพุทธเรืองศรี your host for the program. A Beautiful Life is a program broadcasted every Monday from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Articles and information about life lessons or good phrases from the books or website will be presented in this program, together with the latest news from Rajamongkol University of Technology Panakorn for you to enjoy. Today we start with the article from China News Asia. They say, does the world still need news media? On the World News Day on September 28, it is worthwhile asking if the occasion, and indeed the news media industry as a whole, has any broader relevance in our society. Former journalist and news editor Nicholas Fang gives his take. Nicholas Fang reported from Singapore. It is no secret that the media and journalism sector has experienced seismic shifts in recent years, many of which have increased pressure and challenges for those working in the industry. The rise of digital platforms and social media has led to questions about the relevance of more traditional platforms, such as physical newspapers and broadcasts of news bulletins at fixed time slot on television and radio. With technology enabling an almost constant stream of content on computer and mobile devices, and an even increasing population of digital natives, many experts have sounded the death knell of traditional or mainstream media as advertisers and revenue they bring follow their target audiences elsewhere. World News Day is a global initiative to draw public attention to the role that journalists play in providing trustworthy news and information that serves citizens and democracy. We're a campaign to underscore the value and importance of fact-based journalism and the essential role it performs in our daily lives. It thus marks a good time for us to consider the role, importance, and future of the news media in Singapore now and in the year ahead. Role of news and journalism. Nicholas Fang first entered the news industry as a full-time print journalist in 1999, but his first foray into the milieu began in the early 1990s as an intern or cub reporter, as it was known in those days. Back then, most news companies in Singapore and around the world had their core values, some variation of wanting to inform, educate, entertain, and engage their audience. This persists as Nicholas Fang transitioned to broadcast news later in his career in 2008. An added proviso instituted by his boss at MediaCorp was to focus on accuracy, contact, and timeliness in order to decreasing priority. These values served as a guiding light for the journalists and editors. Nicholas Fang worked with underlying the mission to ensure that the target audience was provided with accurate and timely information presented in an appealing and engaging format that they could use to make the right decisions that would impact their lives. While Nicholas Fang is sure that such journalistic ethos and values are still alive and well in the various newsrooms in Singapore. The reality of news business has meant that there are other competing pressures. The news challenges. These include fighting against other platforms for eyeballs and clicks, which often see a rush for the lowest common denominator when it comes to attracting attention to target audiences. There is also the constantly evolving consumption habits of those audiences driven by developments in technologies such as digital and social platforms and mobile devices. Experts have pointed to shifts in habits that reflect shorter attention spans, a lack of demand for longer form content, whether in print or broadcast, and a preference, especially in younger consumers, to obtain news from social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok. This can be problematic as many of such platforms favor and promote shorter content such as video clips that really delve into detail and nuance of issues and often highlight the clickbait aspect, which may be more exciting for consumers but are not always representative of the real issues at hand. The critical tensions that is created by these trends is between journalism's mission and values and the need to appeal to an audience that is fast moving away to other non-traditional platforms for their news needs. What is the point of achieving the mission of producing high quality journalism if no one reads it? At worst, if the lack of an audience leads to falling advertising revenues and financial pressures. These challenges then have the effect of making journalism and the news industry as a whole a less attractive proposition for young professionals and job seekers who might prefer a less difficult career path. The persisting case for quality journalism, at the same time, it is probably not an exaggeration to say that the role of journalism has never been more important around the world and in Singapore. The rise of the low information voter, a phenomenon first observed and described by American political scientist Samuel Popkin in 1991, refers to a tendency by people to make political choices based on certain superficial cues or heuristics in lieu of more substantive information. Some politicians have sought to leverage on this by playing to their bases with content that focuses more on their image and branding rather than the usual debates and discussions of policies and positions on weighty issues. Other bad actors, state and non-state, have also sought to seek advantage of this low information environment to manipulate the populations in other countries to achieve their aims, which are typically not in the base interests of their adversaries. This has given rise to disinformation and misinformation, respectively. The spread of false information deliberately and unintentionally, which have come to collectively be known as the oxymoronic fake news. This can lead to national disruption and instability, as we saw in the U.S. election in 1916, Brexit, and most recently in the outbreak of violence in the UK following the tragic killing of 3 young children in Southport this July. Beyond politics, fake news can also create a fertile environment for related threats such as scams, which are becoming more commonplace. As the world continues to become more complex and complicated, the ability of people to make important decisions is being impacted by the profusion of false, inaccurate, or fake information that is being disseminated, either intentionally or unintentionally. Part of the solution, the efforts to address this insidious and global threat requires a multi-layered response involving government, legislation and enforcement, education, and the work of other stakeholders such as independent fact checkers and civil society organizations. But the role of traditional or mainstream news and media organizations cannot be understated. A credible, a credible and trusted news media ecosystem can and should function as a source of factual data for a country. The systems and processes, editorial oversight and integrity, and multiple layers of fact-checking and editing that should be part of any news organization provide greater assurance compared to late professional platforms such as blogs that purport to be citizen journalists. The question then is how journalism can reclaim and maintain a trusted position in society. This could be especially tricky in a country like Singapore, where the media has often faced criticisms of being state-controlled and hence biased. There have been a few solutions proposed by industry players in recent years, including a focus on producing products that target digital natives in their natural online habitat and offering more video and visual content that can be consumed on the go. But the writer of this news believes that the key factor will be a renewed emphasis on top quality content and excellent journalists, be it written or broadcast, that draw the audience in with compelling storytelling about issues that matter. This should include reporting that is fair and objective and which is focused on bringing the truth to light. It may sound simple, but is sometimes hard to execute if the focus is purely on boosting clicks from the flicker audience base or chasing advertising dollars. Given the critical role that journalism and the news industries play in all societies, achieving this might be one of the most important objectives of countries in the year ahead. Nicholas Fang is a former journalist and news editor and has worked across print, broadcast, and digital platforms. A former nominated member of Parliament, he is founder and managing director of Black Dot Research, a market and social research agency that runs an independent fact-checking platform. So you can read more about this from China News Asia. Next, China's silence on U.S. TikTok ban speaks volumes. Washington seems more likely than ever to block the popular app. Beijing's reserve exposes America's weaknesses, say Kathleen Trobeck from Bloomberg Opinion. Catherine Trobeck reported from Tokyo. Beijing has been rather quiet as TikTok, the first globally successful app born from its domestic tech sector, fight for its life in the United States of America. The debates over whether Washington will ban TikTok due to perceiving national security concerns related to the Beijing base of its parent company, ByteDance, has simmered for years. In the past, Chinese officials haven't she from harsh rhetoric voicing opposition, but now, as a ban seems more likely than ever to take hold, Beijing is holding its card close to the chase. In the months since legislation that would force TikTok to diverge from ByteDance has made its way through Congress, and now the court spokespeople for China's foreign ministry have demurred requests for comment referring to previous remarks, namely a March statement from commerce official that China will resolutely safeguard its legitimate rights and interests. But it would be premature to interpret the recent silence as any sort of indication that Beijing will take this lying down. United States firm with exposure to the world's second largest economy from Apple to Tesla should brace for collateral blows if a tit-for-tat escalates. And policymakers would be unwise to underestimate the might Beijing may deploy in response to what it has been previously decried as unfair bullying. A high-stakes DC Circuit Court hearing last week did not go well for TikTok. The odds of it halting a ban plummeted from 70% to 30% according to Bloomberg intelligence analysts. And if it fails to win this court battle, the likelihood of undoing that loss of 10%. China would never allow forced sale of TikTok, while government spokespeople have shown restraint. Chinese state-backed news outlets offer a window into official thoughts shortly after the Senate passes the ban legislation. The China Daily ran an editorial warning the century of humiliation won't be repeated over TikTok. It indicates that Beijing views that the U.S. attack on the popular app as in line with an historical pattern of Western exploitation dating back to when British Army forces Chinese people to buy opium. It warned that attempts to impose coercion and subordination will fail. Separate editorial in other outlets similar accused the U.S. of trying to plunder ByteDance. Even policymakers on the U.S.-China Commission cannot seem to grasp that Beijing and ByteDance would never allow a forced sale of its crowd jewel algorithm to a foreign buyer. China tweaked its export laws in 2020 to safeguard national security and interests, a move widely interpreted as a response to the first talks of a ban emerging. TikTok's recommendation engine, which drives individualized content to user feeds to keep them scrolling and engaged, has long been cited as the secret sauce of the app's success over rivals. Some commentators argue that it won't make sense, especially given the current macroeconomic woes, for Beijing to retaliate with sanctions or further policy signals that would discourage foreign investment amid a decade-low plunge. The claim Blocking a sale would hurt ByteDance global investors. Yet this failed to acknowledge that Beijing has kept its own tech sector in flavor of broader policy goals with a brutal crackdown that has only recently eased. If the past few years have revealed anything about government priorities, it's that investor returns and fast growth in the tech sector are no longer on top. President Xi Jinping mantra of common prosperity and high-quality innovation that strengthens its tech independence has taken its place. The U.S. knows the scheme it's playing with TikTok is unevenly weighted due to its own place in the global tech hierarchy. But this can also be a double-edged sword. As much as China risks turning away foreign investment by blocking a sale, it would be a win to broadcast to the world that any venture to make it in the lucrative U.S. market isn't safe. Beijing may be wise not to say much. Chinese officials may also be quietly considering options as they await the outcome of the presidential election. By Donald Trump kicked off this whole saga during his time in office as a candidate. He has since signaled that he would be against an outright TikTok ban because it would boost competitor Facebook parent Meta platforms. Lawmakers have been quick to fill the space left by Beijing's silence. They are fiercely defending the constitutional right of free speech while trying to silence a platform that more than 170 million Americans use to express themselves. TikTok is painted as a national security threat, but not only has Commander-in-Chief Joe Biden's team joined it, it has become a major campaign tool for both presidential frontrunners. The coconut tree memes and bread while propelling Kamala Harris' popularity in the polls originated on the app. It's ironic that the U.S. employing an undemocratic process to ban the app in the name of preserving the democracy. Around half of Americans use TikTok, less than a third support a ban. 7 million U.S. businesses are on TikTok. The supposed smoking gun evidence that it is a real threat remain classified, kept from the eyes of not just the American public by TikTok's own lawyers. The ban legislation was fast-tracked through Congress, attached to a foreign aid package meant to support Israel and Ukraine. Lawmakers worry about social media security risks should instead pass comprehensive law to protect Americans' data and safeguard users from threats across all apps. Banning TikTok under these circumstances only give China's well-oiled propaganda machine to ultimate ammunition. Maybe Beijing is right not to say much. Americans' actions speak for itself. So you can read more about this from Channel News Asia and the source from Bloomberg. And we'll be right back after a short break.
Beautiful life.
You are listening to A Beautiful Life on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. We are back to the news from Rajamongkol University of Technology, Panakorn. The first news from Rajamongkol University of Technology, Panakorn received a very good level of internal quality assessment year 2023. On October 4, 2024, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร received an internal quality assessment of education at the university level for the academic year 2023 in accordance with the quality assessment criteria of the Office of the Permanent Secretary of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation or OPM. The event was held on October 3 to 4, 2024 at the Rapi Pat Conference Room Office of the President, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร Tewes Center. The average assessment result of component 1 to 5, 13 indicators was 4.54 points. Resulting in a very good quality assessment, the university was honored to have a committee of 5 external assessment committee members, namely Associate Professor Dr. สมหมายผิวสะอาด Chairman of the Assessment Committee, Associate Professor Dr. ทรงวิทย์เจริญกิจธนลาภ Committee Member, Associate Professor จันทนีเพชรรานนท์ Committee Member, Assistant Professor Dr. วิสันต์ตั้งวงเจริญ Committee Member, Assistant Professor Dr. จักริดโบนัสทอง Committee Member and Secretary. The assessment committee examined evidence in the IQA-RM UTP system, interviewed stakeholders and those responsible for various indicators, and inspected the 4 centers of ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร including Tewes Center, Chotives Center, พนิชการพระนคร Center, and North Bangkok Center. Associate Professor Dr. สมหมายผิวสะอาด Chairman of the Internal Education Quality Assessment Committee at the university level, summarized the overall assessment and suggests points for development, stating that ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร has a process for developing learners to be graduates who can truly practice according to the needs of stakeholders in various groups. And it is a curriculum that can develop human resources according to the 21st century skills. It was also found that lecturers have expertise in research and academic works that are recognized both nationally and internationally, which will be one of the processes to build stronger universities. In order to further enhance the university's strength, the university should use an information system to develop and make decisions in the management for curricula and student development activities, and expand cooperation with the industrial sector, the government sector, and international institutions to create opportunities for research and innovation projects and create modern learning experiences that better meet market demands. Next, from ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร organized a seminar on climate justice. On October 2, 2024, the Faculty of Science and Technology, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร organized a seminar on the topic of climate justice. Dr. นัทวรพล รัตน์สิริวัชรบุญ President of ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร Miss เขมสร สิริสุขะ Actress and Sustainability Consultant, and Miss รัตน์เกล้าพันอาราม Director of the Environmental Department of the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand, joined as speakers to exchange views, ideas, and experiences and participation in reducing climate change and global warming at the Digital Broadcast 204 Room, Digital and Robotics Institute, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร North Bangkok Center. Dr. นัทวรพล รัตน์สิริวัชรบุญ said that climate change is an important and urgent global problem that has impacts in many dimensions, such as the environment, society, and economy. In particular, vulnerable groups or those with few resources are often the ones who are most affected. Addressing this problem is not just about reducing greenhouse gas emissions or conserving the environment, but also about creating quality in society and sustainable development that everyone can truly access. As an educational institution, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร plays an important role in supporting knowledge and creating innovations to create changes in society. This led to the organization of the Climate Justice Seminar, which will be a platform for exchanging knowledge and opinion to find solutions and concrete approaches to drive climate justice and sustainable development. ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร aims to be a part of driving sustainable development in line with the world's Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs by driving various issues and being ranked by Time Higher Education, an organization that ranks universities that support sustainable development goals in 2024 from England in terms of making city and human settlements sustainable city and communities or SDG 11. ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร is ranked 300 to 400 in the world, ranked jointly the sixth among Thai university and the first among ราชมงคล University of Technology. In addition, the university drives through various tangible policies such as promoting the use of clean energy by installing solar panels in the classroom buildings, instilling students from general subjects and developing research and innovation to instill awareness in personnel and students to be aware of such problem and jointly create changes in the future. As Ms. Ratkaw Panaram said, the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand or EGAT, a state enterprise of the country, plays an important role in developing the country towards climate change. The climate justice with Goal 10, circular economy and low carbon society Goal 11, reducing the risks and impacts from natural disasters and climate change. From both goals, it leads to EGAT's policy towards sustainable development by promoting energy and environmental conservation, along with organizational development to transition to carbon neutrality with a focus on improving the efficiency of energy use and resources efficiency, including creating business opportunities by using innovation and digital technology through many prominent projects, such as increasing the production capacity of renewable energy power plants. The Thai Voluntary Greenhouse Gas Reduction Project or TVR, the Renewable Energy Certificates or REC project, and the Green School Project. EGAT is ready to promote stimulation and awareness of green energy business to jointly solve the problem of climate change and help drive the world to continue to rotate sustainably. And the time is up for today. A Beautiful Life, please join us on every Monday here on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. Your host has been อาจารย์เกษมพุทธเรืองศรี You are welcome to subscribe to our channel on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. Thank you very much for joining our program today and see you again next Monday. สวัสดีครับ
Beautiful Life will be back again next Monday.